And it's finally time for our second Unleashed form in Control Speedpaints. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Brooklyn Unleashed. I've had a couple designs for her over the years, but this one is the most drastic change and adds a lot of genetic features that I had never considered before. But then I realized I was wasting a lot of the potential of the Unleashed form's mutagenic functions and total lack of coherence. So I just had to wing it and make something new. And I absolutely love these results. Originally, her Unleashed form was mostly just Panther and Jaguar. Those features are very much still visible here, with the spot pattern and dark coloration. But there's a lot more to her now though. For one, I've added Snow Leopard, which contributes to her wiry hair, bushy tail, and gently fading pigment. Then there's some rabbit features, providing more of the bright fur, her long, slightly floppy ears, and the lapine legs. Those in particular were a bit difficult to get right, as they have an extra length and joint compared to the digitigrade legs I already have plenty of experience drawing. Lastly, there's a bit of deer in there. Really just the horns, which has already gotten multiple people just calling her a jackalope when I showed off the sketch. The reasoning behind those species is pretty obvious to those who know various mythologies well enough. Everyone knows the symbolism of the rabbit on the moon by now, as countless old mythologies around the world use it. Then we have snow leopards, which have a legend closely associated with the moon and tides, regarding a Pakistani belief that there were only female snow leopards, and they had to procreate with otters. An odd one, but still a connection, and not to mention the coloration and their hunting habits definitely fit as well. I ended up randomly finding that one while looking into Middle Eastern myths for the Pokemon region I'm making. But that one likely won't be involved there because my region map cuts off at the Zagros Mountains, so Pakistan isn't exactly involved. Jaguars are a cat I rarely hear discussed anymore, but the Mayan moon goddess Ixchel was often presented as a jaguar. Finally, deer are mostly associated with the moon in Greco-Roman mythology, specifically Roman, where Artemis was incorporated into Diana, bringing vast association with deer in the process. The resulting amalgamation of species is something quite unique, and I'm honestly kind of proud of it. Of course, you're probably wondering why the moon symbolism, and that would be due to her powers being over gravity. You'd probably expect a character with gravity powers to be flying around and throwing things several times their size and weight, but Brooklyn is much more of a finesse-based gravity wielder. She'll alter centers of gravity in the middle of melee combat to shift in impossible arcs and directions, or create rapidly orbiting barriers of sharp projectiles to bring with her into a brawl. Or possibly amplify the mass of her tools or even her own body occasionally when striking, which does result in a lot of her finishers being a hammering maneuver of some kind. Unless she goes for something sneaky like leaving a charged projectile sitting around to gravitate back to herself, with her foe in between them. Speaking of her tools and weaponry, you can clearly see she has a staff, and what a wonderful abuse of physics it is when combined with her powers. If she wishes or needs, she could shift her center of gravity to the tip of the staff, and vault over an opponent about to counter a very forward attack, and then go for an overhead or rear strike with ease. Or amplify the mass of the tip as she brings it down for bone-shattering impacts. But that's just with the staff tip. On the other end of it, in the final results of this piece, you can clearly see that there's a few shuriken sheathed there. There's a small retractable shaft that they sheath on, capped off by a tip charged with more of her gravitational genesis. When she wishes to use them, an anti-gravity pulse through the staff will propel the cap wherever she chooses, on whichever end she chooses, and then eject the shuriken already charged with more of her power, so they'll be able to orbit and return with simple mental commands, and then gravitate the cap back into place as the shaft retracts into the staff. This has already happened with the empty end of the staff on this piece, and the final result will have those 5 shuriken orbiting around her. Regarding combat gear, she goes with a pair of expanding boots much like Scott's, but otherwise refuses due to her combat style requiring flexibility and lightweight to really take advantage of. Armor doesn't mean much of anything to Unleashed anyway, as most armor, if not enhanced by a power relevant to it, will be mostly obliterated by most Unleashed attacks. Basically, even if she were to be wearing steel plate armor, it would practically be paper mache to half of her opponents, and she's better off relying on her own durability and regeneration to take that hit. I do have plans for more specialized gear later into the series, but in Book 1, she doesn't have anything but the boots and the staff. I think you'll love where I go with her from here, though. So, here she is. Brooklyn Alvarez Unleashed. Otherwise known as the Violet Horizon, one of the sneakiest and most dangerous women in the world of Control. I had a hell of a lot of fun making this one, and it's gonna be a struggle to decide if I'll do more human forms or another Unleashed next time. Well, we'll just have to wait and see. And if you want more details on Brooklyn, by the time this is up, I'll have some documents on my Patreon, logged by the Control Militia's engineer, Biz, regarding Brooklyn and the potential of her powers, as well as the design aspects for her gear, both in this image and some of what's to come. Well, that's enough for today. This is Envoy of Kairos, signing out, and I'll see you guys again soon for another video. Later. Hey, thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed the video, then be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And if you're looking to support me a little further, maybe get some bonus content, or just keep up with me and other fans, you can find links down in the description leading to my Patreon, my Discord, and my Twitter. And if you're following me on Patreon, then you can expect some content polls to decide what's coming up on the channel, yet a little bit of background additions to some other series I've been working on, some more original and creative stuff. And who knows, if enough of you start supporting me soon, I might have a few other surprises up my sleeve too. Again, thanks for watching, and I hope to see you all again on the next video.